Good afternoon, YouTube. I hope you're ready, and I hope everybody had a special happy holidays, Christmas, and happy New Year indeed. I am No Mercy Sports, and we are back again today with another live episode of the most uncut, unfiltered, and uncensored show you are going to find on YouTube. But before we dive into today's episode, like I mentioned during my live stream of the Orange Bowl, I have a TV service that is mostly based on Wi-Fi, but let me talk to you. It is arguably the best TV service you will ever find. Not only do you get every sports package, I'm talking MLB, NFL, NHL, NBA, obviously. You get every local channel in the country, not to mention. Be sure to click the link in the description of this video and click the link that says DSTV. Sign up if you have a Google email account, and hey, the rest is history. They give you the instructions of how to set everything up. The only thing you need is a Fire Cube or a Fire Stick to get everything started. You can even have a cell phone, and the only thing you need is Smart Players Lite. Let me check my phone real quick. Smarters Player Lite. I'm sorry that I had to check my phone on that. But again, like I said, click the link in the description of this video. Make sure you have a Google email account and let them know I sent you. Now, it's time for the most uncut, unfiltered, and uncensored sports talk show you will find on YouTube. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode of No Mercy Sports. Yeah! And with me as always, I was going to say, with me as always, this man is big. He has some spicy takes. Man, oh man, have I enjoyed having him on the show with me as of late. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Spicy Big Mac Campbell. Man, how you doing? Oh, hang on.
What's going on, buddy?
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, no, I always keep it muted coming into
mic
the show.
Was muted, so
yeah. I do it every time just to make sure because I don't want anything I say to mess with your intro, but because it's great. It's great. I love watching your intro, bro. You get it fired up.
Hey, usually when it comes to the intro, I try to bring that Bruce Buffer UFC main event type energy to it. You know, that's how I do things, man.
Oh yeah. All right. Come on. My youngest son once he was like, "Daddy, can I say hi to your show?" I was like, "Yeah. Come on, you can say hi to the show."
Yeah, bring him on. Hi, hey, how you doing, buddy?
Say, hey, what's going on? You say hi. This is my 5-year-old.
Oh my God! Adorable.
All right.
Well, it looks like he's trying to do 50-50. I want to be on the show, but I don't want to be on the show.
Thank you for my tablet.
You're welcome. Sorry, giving instructions.
No, hey, it's all good. Kids, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Grinch even said it best. So desensitized by movies and television.
I got my other babies.
I got puppies. Oh my God, so adorable, so adorable. I mean,
I'm surrounded today.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, big man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. However, we're going from adorable to a massacre. Now, obviously, you were there when I did the live stream of the Orange Bowl between Georgia and Florida State.
Yeah, I jumped in a couple times while I was doing some stuff, but no, it was
it wasn't even close from the get-go. Now 7-0 after the first quarter, I can understand, but 49 points between the second and third quarter? Are you kidding me?
Man, listen. Okay, as horrible as that was, like, do you understand? Like I understand big game, big loss, like it was big. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but Michigan beating Alabama. When I tell you everybody had Alabama. Everybody so called that was a
In my head,
expert,
I honestly
expert.
had Alabama winning.
And bro, literally, I did. I had my go-to college guy. My guy was like, "Look, man, it's gonna be Alabama. It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
Alabama. Thank God I bet on Michigan, baby."
Woo! We're about to get into the Rose Bowl Rumble real quick. But despite the massacre that we saw, so many Florida State fans and college football fans are so quick to defend Florida State. Oh, they had nearly 30 players sitting out. They either opted out or transferred out. They did this, they did that. And look, I don't wish injury upon any college football or NFL player, especially a guy like Jordan Travis. That man easily would have won the Heisman Trophy this year by unanimous decision, and it wouldn't have been close. So, with that said, would the score have been different if the Florida State players actually decided to start against Georgia?
Not by much. I mean, okay. I mean, it'd been 22 to fucking 59. You know what I mean? Like,
That's what I'm saying.
okay. I mean, like, yeah, they would have scored maybe once or twice, but
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, what else was the defense? Like, even on defense, like, bro, I mean, would it really been that much difference? Would it be
No,
really
I
been that
mean,
much difference? Because at the end of the day, like, bro, I think coaching has a lot to do with this shit. And I'm sorry, it did not look like that coach was prepared in any way, shape, or form. He couldn't stop any part of their offense, couldn't
nope.
stop any scheme. And then after a first half of seeing their defense, you couldn't scheme up nothing for
That's
these
what I'm
motherfuckers.
saying.
You couldn't at least score, once or twice. And I mean touchdowns. I mean, fuck, at that point, fucking a field goal or two would have been nice too. Like, I mean, at least
my God.
attempt to act like you're trying to cover the spread. That motherfucking team played as if they all bet on them not to cover the spread. Oh no,
Oh,
it's gonna be a
absolutely.
huge
There was a
margin.
team in the bowl game that put up 6 fucking points. I'm like, oh my God. That team put up double the points that Florida State did in the Orange Bowl. But the thing that gets me is they want to say, oh, Florida State had second and third stringers. A buddy of mine, oh, our defense was arguably the best in the country. We did this, we did that. Okay, cool. Even if Florida State had the starters that were playing, the game probably would have been the same exact score from last year's national championship.
Yeah, I mean,
when Georgia took on TCU and the final score was 65-7.
like I said, the both games did not go how we thought they were going to go.
They did not.
Shout out to Washington.
Mm-hmm. We're
Washington.
going to get into Washington in a bit. We had a Sugar Bowl shootout. Let me talk to you. But, I mean, look, even if Florida State did have their starters and there was the same defense that put up, that held Louisville to 6 points in the ACC championship, there's no way going into the Orange Bowl that same defense would have stopped Georgia that had a chip on their shoulder after losing the SEC championship to Alabama, of all teams, who have had arguably the most roller coaster season despite having one loss. There's no way Florida State would have stopped them.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just
that's the way
it's inevitable.
That's the way inevitable.
It goes. And I mean, like, dude, I'm just Michigan, man. Michigan. They did the goddamn thing. They climbed that fucking mountain. They planted their flag and they got it.
Yes, sir. And speaking of
like,
Michigan, we saw a rumble in the Rose Bowl. Now, despite Alabama's like I said, despite Alabama's roller coaster season, because Nick Saban couldn't choose between which quarterback he wanted to start with. Obviously, Jalen Milroe was the dude. That defense, Michigan's defense came prepared, despite the special teams muffing it up on punt returns.
yeah, I mean,
that defense came up in serious clutch moments, my man.
Oh, for sure. And see, like from what I've seen, it was just like Michigan's defense stepped up when they needed to.
Absolutely.
That was honestly the difference maker. If Michigan's defense doesn't stop them, multiple times, like, bro, Alabama had that game. It was Alabama's game to lose, and they lost it.
And the fact that
and that's why I'm giving Michigan their due, because they won that fucking game.
They won that game.
They could have easily put their heads down and just been like, you know what, man, fuck. Nah, they were like, fuck that shit. This is ours.
And the wide receivers came up big on Michigan's offense. Corum came up big on their run game. J.J. McCarthy did what he needed to do. And like I said, that defense came up in some serious clutch moments, despite the travesty or 2 muff punts on Michigan's special teams.
Yeah.
It was Michigan's best. To put it into
what was the first? The first one happened in the second quarter, didn't it?
No, I think it was after Alabama's first drive.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like number 82. He muffed. I'm like,
I know. I watched one of them. One of them. Because I mean, I probably watched like the first 2 quarters of the game, and then I didn't watch pretty much any of the third quarter, and then I came right back into the fourth quarter to watch that shit, and I was like, oh shit.
I mean, Alabama, they put on a hell of a show in the third quarter. I'm like, oh my god. This is what Alabama does best. Despite being down in the first half, they always find a way to come back in the third quarter. And when it goes into the fourth quarter, they just take control from there.
Goddamn.
I mean, it was, to put things into perspective for the Rose Bowl, it was Michigan's best day on Alabama's worst day. And that's usually how teams get the win over Alabama. It is arguably their worst day, and teams are feeling it. But man, oh man, it didn't disappoint. I mean, like even Kirk Herbstreit said himself that the national championship should be held in the Rose Bowl because of like the history, what's there, all the teams that have played there. I mean, for me, it's a toss-up, you know. But I mean, yeah, yeah. For this loss, did it really show how much of a roller coaster season Alabama had this year, despite having 1 loss?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, like they had a roller coaster ride because they had games that they made tough for themselves. They had like so. I mean, yes and no. Because again, like as much as Nick Saban is very fame worthy, like we know who he is, we know what he can do, but he's still just a coach. He's not out there on the field making the tackles. He's not out there throwing the ball. He's not out there. Damn sure ain't catching the fucking ball. All right. So
you absolutely right on that.
It's like he can scheme up, he can try to coach up, but at the end of the day, it's the players that have to make the plays. So. I mean, granted, was it a tough loss? Yes, it was a tough loss. But the whole thing was, right, I'd rather have a tough loss than get my ass fucking kicked.
I mean, it was.
And I know the tough losses sometimes are harder to swallow. They are. But, I mean, it for a coach to prove like, okay, well, yeah, it was a bad day. But, I mean, bro, it's not – we didn't get blown out. We didn't get the shit kicked out of us.
No.
You know what I mean? It was just a couple plays went 50-50 and it went to their side. It went to their side. Look, he did what he could do, but I mean, Was it a roller coaster season? Little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it'd been different if they would have had 2 or 3 losses. Then yeah, that's a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would rather suffer a tough loss, but at the same time, I'd rather suffer a tough loss and not draw up a QB draw play in overtime when you need to force a second overtime from what, the 5-10 yard line?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I'm
mean,
not saying Nick Saban probably drew up that play because the play calling goes to the offensive coordinator and he's just relying it to Nick Saban. But at the same time, it's like, bro, you have a chance to force a double overtime and you're doing that against Michigan's defense who made Jalen Milroe's life a living hell?
bro.
I think he had like what, nearly 20 dropbacks, like 8 tackles, and then like 5 sacks. Michigan's defense was just that good against Jalen Milroe, and they saw it coming a mile away.
Yeah, I mean that's usually what happens when you prepare for somebody. You know what I mean? Like if you do the proper film work and you do the proper fucking
Mm-hmm.
workouts and you do the proper walkthroughs and you sit there and you put all 3 together, and then when it comes time to game day, now you're not going half speed. You're not even going 80%. You're going 100 fucking percent. And them
Right.
guys were going 110.
Absolutely.
They just were. They just were. Like I said, as far as I'm concerned, like yeah, there's a few pundits that called for Michigan, but let's be honest here. Like America's favorite was Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
90% of people honestly thought Alabama was going to win this game.
Right.
Now, like I said, I mean, granted, like I said, there's a few diehards. There's a few people out there that were like, you know what? I'm just going to call Michigan. I'm going to call Michigan because I mean, hey, if they win, I'm going to look like a fucking genius.
Yeah.
And there was a few of those, but I mean, for the majority of people to call out and say, "Yep, we know Alabama's going to win," you know what I mean? Michigan, that I mean, bro, that's a big notch on their belt. That's a big fucking notch on their belt because
Couldn't
not only
agree
did they
more.
come in there as underdogs, they won that shit in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and it just makes it that much more spectacular. Not only did you beat Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
fucking Bama, but you
The
beat them in
dynasty of
overtime
the
at the Rose fucking Bowl.
SEC. I'm just.
It was
Oh
great.
my God. There's not enough words in the English language of the dictionary to describe what a big win this was for Michigan for them to move on to the national championship. But Michigan has another tough opponent that they got to go up against. And man, in my opinion, despite being undefeated, they are riding a wave of momentum like the 2007 Giants were riding. Nobody, like, yes, it's the Pac-12, basically dominated by, I believe, Oregon for most of the year. Because the only time the USC dominated was like 2004, 2005 when they had Pete Carroll, Matt Leinart, and Reggie Bush. But as far as I know, the last few years, this has been the only time I've actually seen Washington, of all teams of the Pac-12, actually do this good, not only get a win in the OG6 Bowl against Texas. It wasn't your year this year. Sorry, not sorry. I know what I said. Yeah. Anyways. But, man, oh, man. Washington versus Texas, we had a shootout in the Sugar Bowl. The defense for Washington was there. They held Quinn Ewers to under 100 yards in the first half. He finally found some momentum between the last 5 minutes of the third quarter and up until the end of the game, getting 320 yards, I believe. But MPJ slung nearly 450 yards on Texas. Now, it was a close game in the end, but did Texas prove that they were back despite their loss in the Sugar Bowl? Exactly my
They're
point.
back. They're back.
Exactly my point.
Listen, you gotta win something to be back. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
win something. Anybody can get invited to the dance, but if you're
Mm-hmm.
hugging the wall or doing just a two-step, you ain't shit. You gotta be in the middle. You gotta be popping. You gotta be locking. You gotta be moving, baby. If you ain't grooving, you ain't. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
Do
hang on, hang
something.
on,
You have to
hang on.
do something.
Let me check my receipt real quick. I didn't buy into any of your BS, Texas. You may have went 12-1, but you lost a chance to go to the national championship.
There you go.
I
And
mean,
that's what matters.
look, I'm gonna just say this: any team that any NFL team that needs a quarterback going into this draft would be stupid to pass up on Michael Penix Jr. If he puts up the same numbers he did against Texas, and the score is or the same numbers he put up against Texas against Michigan, and the score is still that close.
Okay, so I don't know if he's going to be able to put up those numbers against Michigan.
Right.
But I mean, can he have a good game? Absolutely, he can have a good game. They can win. I mean, at the end of the day, it's who put up more points. Who can put
Yep.
up more points?
Absolutely.
Right now, here's my thing: is now defense comes into play. Now, what scares me is Washington defense gave up a lot of fucking points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do you think is going to happen against that Michigan offense? That's why I'm saying, like,
I mean, they got JJ McCarthy, they got Corum, their
listen,
wide
I'm
receivers are.
going to go ahead and I'm going to take the smart option here, and I'm just going to go ahead and go with Michigan.
Mm. Yeah, see, for me, I love riding the underdog momentum of teams, so I'm honestly going to have to go with Washington. But we will see what happens come Monday. And man, oh man, I cannot wait for Monday.
Like they say, defense wins championships, baby.
That it
And
does.
Michigan's got the defense.
That
So
they do.
that's I mean, like don't get me wrong, like Michael Penix, like he's won me money, I think twice this year.
Mm-hmm.
When I bet on Washington, and I did the same game parlay, like he won me money.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm gonna give him his due. He like both times I put him in a parlay, he hit his mark.
I
So
mean, this is a dude that had 4 season-ending injuries during his time in Indiana. He had a good year. I want to say, first year, it was like 2021, 2022 at Washington. And then this year should have been a Heisman candidate, but unfortunately got robbed due to Jane Daniel. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, I really have more faith in MPJ than I do any of the other overrated quarterbacks that should have been in this draft class that didn't live up to the hype this season.
look, I don't know if you had like I glanced over it yesterday. I don't even remember most of the topics for today.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna say this: if DeMar Hamlin gets Comeback Player of the Year award over Joe Flacco, there needs to be Roger Goodell, all these motherfuckers in these commissions. They need to be fucking fired.
Facts.
They need to get rid of them motherfuckers, bro.
Facts.
Joe Flacco should be Comeback Player of the Year. Like, and
Not
like,
only should Joe
listen.
Flacco be comeback player of the year, but Steve Sarkisian should be coach of the year because of what he's done with Joe Flacco.
Again, if and I'll say this, if the Texans beat the Colts and get into the playoffs, and I mean, if they beat the Colts, even if they somehow don't get into the fucking playoffs, I'm sorry, DeMarco Ryans, I will say again and again and again, a rookie coach that has a winning fucking record with a rookie fucking quarterback and the youngest team in the NFL. And this guy's
no way. If the Texans went with Bryce Young, there is no way the Texans are in the position that they are in right fucking now going into the playoffs. We're gonna get to that later.
Well, see, I don't know. I don't know because I can tell you this. As far as it comes to Bryce Young, if the right coach finds him, Like if he's actually combined with the right coach that understands what type of team he needs to draft, like you need a bunch of fast moving, agile linemen. You
Yeah.
need a bunch of tall, quick wide receivers.
Yeah.
To where you can literally move that pocket any which side of the field you want. All your linemen 6'2" and under.
I mean,
I want a
arguably,
5'11" guy. No, like you get, and there are. I've seen him, like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is 5'11", but he's got an 82-inch wingspan. Are you freaking kidding me right now,
and
bro?
had the title of the most dangerous man on the planet.
But I'm saying you find 6 foot to 6'2" guys with around 80-inch wingspans. Motherfucking 300-pound dudes. They're lower to the ground. They're gonna get up under defensive tackles. And bro, like Jason Kelsey, case in point. Like you get a bunch of guys like Jason fucking Kelsey, his size can get up underneath and fucking get that
Which is
leverage.
why the Eagles are so successful with the tush push.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like when you have a short quarterback, like bro, and okay, this is my franchise. This guy is good, but you got to get blocking, and you got to have receivers that he can see down the fucking field.
Yes.
Bam, there you go. Make a mobile fucking pocket with shorter, lower statured fucking offensive linemen. You have a quick, always moving, and it's just like I'm sorry, Frank Wright. Hey, look, $5 million for free. $5 million, you ain't got to do shit for it. You know what I'm saying?
Homie getting the vanilla treatment.
And he can literally go sign another contract tomorrow and start working. And he's still going to get that motherfucking $5 million.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, buddy, but you fucked up. You fucked up.
No, David Tepper fucked up.
I mean, no. Again, like I said, bro, if you're going to be a coach and you're going to say, okay, this is going to be my franchise quarterback. This is who the motherfucking team is drafting. You need to be prepared from day motherfucking one to understand that you need to win at least fucking 5 games.
I was going to say, because Frank Reich had his eyes on C.J. Stroud. Could you imagine where the Panthers would be if they had Stroud under center?
Yeah.
They damn sure wouldn't have 2 wins. That's for fucking sure.
I mean, okay, so they'd have 5 or 6 wins. Listen, I again, bad coaching. Bad coaching, bad system.
I'll agree to that.
Like, bro, first off, if you're gonna play him in any system in the fucking pro style, why? Like, I mean, everything he should be doing is moving. If he's under pocket, it play action. Every play bootleg, scramble, move. Like everything he should be doing is moving to open the field up to make it easier for him to see.
I mean, arguably their best player this year.
They did nothing. They did none of that shit. Even the pistol. Like, the pistol is the number one option that kid should have been running out of. Between shotgun and under center. Shotgun, mix it up, do whatever the fuck you want. Move one of your guys in a motion. Like, but that's
they had Miles Sanders in the backfield and Adam Thielen as a tight end. We saw what Adam Thielen was capable of in Minnesota. Why couldn't Bryce Young utilize Adam Thielen the same way he was utilized in Minnesota? But like you said, it has to do with the coaching.
I got my liquor drink.
Cheers to that.
You ever seen Trailer Park Boys?
I know the name, but I have unfortunately not seen it.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it, man. Because if you watch it, you're gonna get addicted. And bro, it's hilarious. It's hilarious, bro. Like
I believe it.
The last 3 seasons, Snoop Dogg's on there, Tom Arnold's on there. Like, bro, fucking Sebastian Bach. Sebastian Bach is in there.
What?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, dude.
Oh man, I've heard the one clip I saw from Trailer Park Boys was the Sam Squatch clip.
Yeah.
The dude with like the goggle glasses and everything. It's a Sam Squatch.
Yeah, no, and that's the whole thing. Like, bro, all the characters just it's all kind of crazy shit. Fucking Mr. Leahy's alcoholic drunk mother, bro. I'm just telling you, like, it is hilarious.
Say, who's the Danny McBride mullet looking dude? Because like,
Ricky,
yeah!
Ricky.
Like, bro, his relationship with the girl that he's with. Oh my god.
bro.
It speaks volume because it's like, wow, that really translates to a lot. Like, fuck you, but I love you.
Yeah, well, see, here's a fucked up thing. So a few weeks ago, I had the long hair, right?
Yeah.
So I took a shower, I combed it all back. My wife's like, "Hey, you look like that guy from Trailer Park Boys' brother." I was like, "Which one you talking about? What, Julian?" She was like, "No, the retarded one." I was like, "You talking about Bubbles?" No, the other one, just the stupid one. I was like, "Ricky?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You fucking asshole."
Hey, that's why we marry the people that we love, because they put it out there as best that they can. It's like, oh, fucking hate you, but damn it, I love you.
All right, next topic. Sorry,
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We get
All
off
right.
topic.
So we know from Stephen A. Smith that Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. He is a bad man, but he can also be a reckless man sometimes. I have heard. Now, I've been a very avid watcher of the WWE, obviously.
I fucking hope so.
I've heard of the list of Jericho, but as soon as I saw what was going on social media, the list of Epstein and the amount of people that were mentioned over 150 times, the fact that Rodgers went out there and was like, oh, I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy Kimmel was on that list. So I don't really like to mix sports and politics. I don't like to make waves, but again, that's what this show is all about. It's all about making waves. It's all about controversy because, hey, I mean, look at some of the controversy we've dealt with in the last 30 years, we'll say. Anyways, so Jimmy Kimmel was so quick to clap back against Aaron Rodgers and defend himself.
Oh, what did he say?
I don't know. Or he really, the one thing I saw was like, it said, "Dear AA asshole." If that's not like, would it be any surprise with Aaron Rodgers' comment if Jimmy Kimmel was on that list?
Oh, man. See, now I'm interested. Now, hold on.
Yeah, go on
Jimmy
Twitter.
Kimmel,
It is
Aaron Rodgers
blowing up. Twitter is exploding with that list. I'm telling you. I'll be right back. I'm gonna turn the fan on. I'm working up a sweat just screaming.
Oh, it's being called Aaron made a dumb and factually incorrect joke about Jimmy Kimmel. It should have never happened. We all realized that in the moment. Jimmy Kimmel prints money for Disney while ESPN is high on Pat McAfee.
I was gonna say, look at the late night show with Jimmy Kimmel. He's not even that funny, and he uses the platform to bash Donald Trump. For God's sakes, we got a president that can't even form a fucking sentence. Obviously being Joe Biden, but that's neither.
I mean, listen, they have an age limit. Like, you have to be 35 to be the president. I feel like there should be a new rule instituted that you cannot be president if you are over 60 years old.
I'll agree to that.
I do, because, bro, I mean, especially in this stage of the game where you got people that could possibly be going into the White House and dying of a fucking coronary at any day. Do you know what I mean? You got people who literally, could need oxygen tanks within months.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, bro, it just doesn't make any sense to me. You're telling me there's nobody out there that can be fucking better. Like, bro, see me.
If you want to be president, you should actually be able to form a fucking sentence.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, bro.
Joe Biden ain't him. He's just a puppet.
I can honestly say, right? Like, look, man, fuck Biden, but fuck Trump too. Okay, because they're both fucking assholes. They both have their own fucking agendas. They don't give a shit about us. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about me. They give a shit about whoever their people are. And that's what I think needs to change, especially with politics. Like my whole thing is like we are supposedly the land of the free. But bro, we're not free to do shit. We're not free to do anything.
The only thing
everything
we're free
costs
of is
money.
the left making the abusing freedom of speech.
I mean, it's both ways. It's both ways. My whole thing is listen to me. I'll say this. I'll say this, right? I am so incorrect from both sides. Okay. Like I am pro-gun. I am pro-abortion. I'm pro whatever the fuck you want, as long as it don't affect me.
Facts.
Because live and let live, all that other bullshit, you have no right to regulate anyone else's life but your own.
Yeah. No, I'll agree with that.
Like, bro, that would be my law. That's it. You have no, absolutely no. It doesn't matter. I don't care about your politics. I don't give a fuck about your religion. I don't give a fuck about your race, your creed, whatever thing in your head is telling you that you have the right to try to dictate how other people live and how other people think. Bro, let it go. Let it go.
Or as long as you're not a Steelers fan, because I know you're a Ravens fan.
It's just like one line. People cannot just scroll past the shit. Like, I understand if you want to make a snarky comment, you want to make a joke, but if you seriously just sitting there to type out negative
controversy.
Shit.
No, I get it. I get it.
If you hate Trump, why are you looking at Trump shit just to comment negative shit about Trump? If you hate Biden, why would you sit there and follow shit and look at shit about Biden just to make negative comments? Just scroll, baby. Scroll. Look, life is too fucking short.
Look,
it's too short.
When we were doing our live stream with the Orange Bowl, and I made the comment about that high school in Florida back in 2018, so many people were so quick to comment. It's like, look, you could have scrolled past it, but you let your feelings get in the way and make a comment and give me the attention I deserve.
Yeah.
You're giving me the attention. You're helping my channel fucking grow. Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. Yes. I'm like, okay, cool. Thanks for the attention, dummy. Yeah.
Look. I'm just saying, when we're on ESPN, I
completely agree with what you're saying.
Don't. You know what I mean? Just
don't get caught up in your feelings just because somebody else has a different opinion. But no, I completely agree. Anyways, like I said, I don't like to mix up sports and politics and everything like that.
I do.
I really haven't felt that way since
I like it spicy.
In 2020 with Colin Kaepernick, the NBA, kneeling during the national anthem. Like, no, I try to veer away from that shit.
Bro, can I just say this? I fucking loved Colin Kaepernick kneeling at the motherfucking anthem. I loved it. Listen to me. You want to know why I loved it? Because where I've seen this before, okay, the Green Beret from the Seattle Seahawks was the one that if he wanted to sit down, instead of sitting down, take a knee. So where at least you're still showing some sign of respect, and everybody took that as the big sign of disrespect, and that blows my mind. Like the military literally was like, "Nah, bro, that's actually what you do when you go and you honor fallen soldiers, and you sit there and they play the anthem. You kneel down to do like that. That's part of that, and that's why it's like, oh, disrespecting the military. But it's like the whole background was he did that because the military guy said, look, don't just sit on your ass on the bench, take a knee, do it respectfully.
Yeah.
And
I'm actually gonna counteract with that. Former Pittsburgh Steelers offensive lineman Alejandro Villanueva, dude was
Air Force, completely.
Oh, he was Air Force?
Yeah, he was completely different bracket. That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
like,
look,
the Seattle Seahawks guy that told him to do that.
370 pounds, I ain't fucking with that.
I would. I ain't give a shit.
I mean, it's Air Force, but still, again, 6'8", 370 pounds. Again,
hey,
I ain't messing with that.
Are there rules in fighting? Are there rules in fighting?
There are certain rules in fighting.
No,
Yes.
no. For me.
Oh, okay. If we're talking, I apologize. I'm so
If
used to
I
the
know,
UFC. I know there's rule you can't do
yeah.
nut shots, but if we're talking street fighting, that's a different story.
Well, I mean, if I had to go against the big fella in anything, you know what I mean? Ain't no rules, buddy. Like, listen, I'm a big dude, and if you're bigger than me, you goddamn right. Ain't no rules and nothing.
Oh God! All right. Well, like I said, I don't like to mix up sports and politics because it's just let them do their own thing. But we're gonna stay in the AFC East because Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback going into the season with the New York Jets. So clearly, Mac Jones didn't work out for the New England Patriots. That man could barely put up 10 points.
Who saw that coming?
Right? Bailey Zappe did fucking something. He put up 21 points in the first quarter alone against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, I mean, that's for me. Again, it's just like if you ain't got it in college, and I'm sorry, you played for Alabama. Mm-hmm. You played for Alabama, and you wasn't a highlight reel making motherfucker with your dump offs, with your wide receivers.
Now, granted, he had a successful rookie season, but that's besides the point. Hey,
Jalen Hurts is the only Alabama quarterback I can think of in a long time that's done anything in the NFL.
Tua. Granted, he has a history of not staying healthy, but this year has really suggested otherwise because he had Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
You're right.
No, I completely agree.
I'll say this. I'll say this. Other than Lamar Jackson, if I had a second favorite quarterback in the league, it'd be Tua. Now, I'm also biased. I'm left-handed.
That's fine.
I'm left-handed. So any left-handed quarterback is automatically going to get my love.
I don't think Lamar's left-handed. I think he's
Lamar's not. Tua is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's why I said he's my second favorite. Like outside of Lamar, that's my next favorite guy.
I was gonna say, give me Lamar any day of the week. He's got Zay Flowers. He's got OBJ. Oh, yeah. There is a reason that the Ravens are at the level that they are at this season.
Can you believe that they really think we're gonna lose this tomorrow? Like they think we're gonna lose tomorrow?
Who are they playing?
The Steelers. Hold on. Listen to me. I'm just gonna explain this to you. All right. So Geno Smith, who has the most interceptions in the NFL, okay, he's our sub cornerback, sub safety. Okay, so he swaps out a lot on and off the field between cornerback and safety. He's out there a lot. All right, he's got seven interceptions. He did not make the Pro Bowl. Do you understand? This man is upset. This man is pissed. He didn't make the Pro Bowl.
Lamar didn't make the Pro Bowl?
Huh?
Lamar?
No, Geno Stone.
Oh, okay.
But that's what I'm saying. He's in our secondary. He's made a bunch of plays. 7 interceptions, bro. Leading the league. When you lead the league in a category like that, and you have a bunch of other stats to go with it, as far as tackles, passes defended, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so he snubbed. So I'm telling you, it don't matter who's out there on defense. He's out there on defense. He's going to play every defensive snap unless he gets hurt. So I'm telling you, bro, when I tell you he's coming for a vengeance, and then if the rest of them boys, we got a bunch of Moon and all them, all these young dudes that are fitting to play this motherfucking game. The dogs are coming out. All the young boys are coming out. Away, Matabike is trying to get to 15. He's trying to get to 15. I think he's at 13 right now. He's trying to get to 15. He wants to break that 15. Okay. So I'm let's go. These guys, some of these young dudes, they're gonna play. They're gonna start this game, and they're gonna come after him. And I'm sorry, Mason Rudolph don't put a lick of motherfucking fear in my goddamn heart. Bro.
The most outrageous thing he did was go up against Myles Garrett, and the only thing he got in return was a helmet to the head.
Exactly, and then on the other side of the ball, uh, the Pittsburgh defense.
Mhm.
Okay, you wanted like
Cool.
Huntley
Y'all got
plays.
TJ Watt.
Listen,
You're going to go
Huntley.
17 years without a losing record. That is a sad standard for Pittsburgh Steelers fans.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know where that's coming from. What the fuck is- I don't know where the fuck. Okay, sorry. I don't know.
That's all good.
The call's coming in the computer. Um, yeah, no. Pittsburgh's defense though, like, bro, we're gonna do the same thing. Huntley is literally the exact same player as Lamar.
Yeah.
Like they grew up together in Florida. They played against each other growing up in Florida.
I
Like
mean,
I
I
mean,
was
I
gonna say
mean
Lamar is Amazon, Tyler Huntley is Wish, but he can actually do what Lamar does on the field as well.
look. He had enough time where he got a touchdown. He got a touchdown last week.
Absolutely, I'll
So
agree to that.
I there you go. I mean, the game before that, he got some yards. He had a couple good plays in garbage time. So, and I believe we drove down to kick a field goal when he was in. So, I mean, that's
Hey,
regardless.
as
Like
long as
my whole
points are
thing
being
is,
put up on the board, what difference does it make?
if you want me to bet on either Huntley or fucking okay, I'll say this differently. If you want me, you know what I mean, to pick which one I want to believe in, Huntley and Tucker or Mason Rudolph, I'm gonna go with Huntley and Tucker, baby, all day long.
I
Because listen
mean,
to me, as long as
duh.
Huntley gets us to the 40-yard line, Justin Tucker's kicking that motherfucker.
You can get to the
Tucker's kicking
fucking
that motherfucker.
50-yard line and Justin Tucker will still put it through the uprights.
No. We ain't going there. We ain't going there.
Okay, if it's inside in a dome like
It's not.
Detroit,
It's not.
Minnesota, Las Vegas, anyways, we're getting off track here. Should the Patriots, anyways, so like I said, Mac Jones clearly didn't work out for the New England Patriots, and the numbers show for it. The man was literally putting up 3 to 10 points a game on offense. Up until Bailey Zappe got to start came in for the Patriots against the Giants, he actually drove the offense down the field and got a touchdown. Now, with a guy like Bill Belichick, I really don't see him going anywhere this offseason. I really think he stays in New England. Should the Patriots build around Bailey Zappe instead of looking for a quarterback in the draft, or should they take their chances and go after a guy like Jackson Dart, quarterback out of Ole Miss, MPJ, Jaden Daniel? I mean, the list goes on. Should they take their chances on Bailey Zappe?
I mean, no. The fuck? No. You go get another quarterback. Now, if Zappe can beat the rookie out, then Zappe starts. But if Zappe can't beat the rookie out, then no, the rookie starts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hey, what's his name from Washington? Is he going in the draft this year?
It wouldn't surprise me if he was.
What's his name? Michael Phoenix Jr.
Michael Penix.
Penix.
Yeah, it really wouldn't surprise me if he was going into the draft. I mean, this dude kid really got robbed of the Heisman.
I'd at least give it an early second round pick, if not like the number 32th pick. I mean, as from what I've seen right now, and I've probably seen maybe 3 or 4 games that he's played in. So
okay, that's fair.
I think I'm not going to give a broad judgment.
I was going to say, I think if Michael Penix Jr. re-ups this year and goes back to Washington, easy national championship, and he's arguably the first overall pick in the 2025 draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so speaking of quarterbacks, Justin Fields clearly isn't the problem in Chicago. He has had his flashes. We've seen what he does when he's given the reins. The man can run. The man can pass. But fucking Mr. Humberfloob turned Justin Fields into a pocket passer. Granted, he was a pocket passer in Ohio State, but you look at the offensive weapons that he had back when he was in Ohio State. Justin Fields in Chicago this year under Matt Eberflus was so scared shitless to throw the ball. But the man led the league in rushing as a quarterback last year. So, in my opinion, I think the Bears should keep the number 1 overall pick. Thanks, Carolina! And build around Justin Fields rather than trade Justin Fields away, and continue to show what a dysfunctional franchise they are and go after a new quarterback and ruin his career.
I mean, see, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, bro, with the number 1 overall pick and having Justin Fields, you have...
And DJ Moore at wide receiver.
Bro, I mean, again, exactly, which gives you a shit ton of opportunities. Like, I mean, but here's my whole thing is, I'm going to try to flip it on the positive side. Could you imagine where, he could go?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if he went to the Saints.
Ooh, yeah, and he is from the South. Arthur Smith was probably...
I mean, here you go. I'll kick another one. What happened if he went to Atlanta?
Arthur Smith would fucking destroy him. In the worst way possible. Arthur Smith would bury him more times than The Undertaker has been buried in the WWE.
Okay. Well, say they fire him and go get a fucking sound-minded fucking running gun coach.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking of talent on the field. Fuck coaching. You know what I mean? Like I'm just thinking of where he could actually fit in with the talent around him and just excel.
Yeah, the
Patriots is the last place. A lot of people like him to go to the Patriots for some reason. I think that'd be the last place that motherfucker will ever fucking succeed at.
I mean, I even like Justin Fields going to the Patriots. Granted, he does go rogue sometimes, but with an offensive coordinator like Bill O'Brien and what he did at Alabama, though. Granted, Devontae Parker, Juju Smith-Schuster, they aren't wide receivers that Justin Fields should look to. For God's sakes, Hunter Henry was the best player on the Patriots this year.
So you know where I don't want him to go?
Where's that?
To Oakland. I don't want. Listen. I don't want him in the AFC.
Antonio Pierce keep him in the AFC. Dangerous. That's dangerous. You got Devontae Adams. You got arguably the best defense in the AFC with Max Crosby leading the way. You got Antonio Pierce, who is essentially not Dan Campbell, but he's Darnell Campbell. He's trying to bring that LA Raiders NWA swag back to the Raiders, and I love it. Man, that would be dangerous for the Raiders if he went there.
Yeah. That's why I don't need him in the AFC. You keep him in this.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, look, Chicago...
He'll get more chances to kick the shit out of the Bears, and that'll really help drive his career.
Look, I'm just saying, look, Chicago, give him the Daniel Jones contract, 4 years, $195 million, because he's rightfully earned it. You know, he had the flashes. He had the flashes. He hasn't had as many turnovers as Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones won more games than he did, so that's. I think that's the big difference maker right there.
Yeah, that's fair. But at the same time, like, the go-to guy was DJ Moore, and every defense in their dead grandmother knew that.
But let's be honest, though. When was the last time New York had a number 1 wide receiver?
Also true.
So, I mean...
It's on Carolina for throwing DJ Moore into the mix to get the number 1 pick overall.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look. They fucked that up. They fucked it up.
Exactly.
But guess what? They have a chance. They have a chance. Okay? They have a chance to redeem themselves in 2 years. But, you know what I mean? We'll check back in with them in a couple years.
That's true. We will see what happens with we're talking about Carolina, right?
Yeah. No,
okay.
I mean, the whole thing is, again, they put their money on Bryce. All right.
Did.
Now is the time. Now is the time to go find you an offensive-minded coach. who can go pick the players that's gonna fit his system and not just
Facts.
do like bro, it's time to trim the fats. You gonna trim
Mm-hmm.
all that fat. I mean, we trimming all the fat. Like, I'd be surprised if there was 15 motherfuckers remaining on that roster. Okay? Like, I mean,
Absolute
a
facts.
complete revamp. Like, you need to go into a system.
Absolutely.
I would rather get a 34-year-old that knows this system, understands this system to a T, than go get a fucking rookie or go get somebody fucking, you know what I mean, a 32-year-old superstar. Fuck that. Trade that motherfucker away. Give me picks. Give me players. I
No,
want this guy.
absolutely. Get the draft capital that you deserve so you can build around Bryce Young and actually make him look like the quarterback that the quarterback that he was in Alabama.
Yeah. And then the other big thing is, especially with offensive linemen, I'm looking for wrestlers. I
Mhm.
want motherfuckers 6'2" and wrestlers. Baltimore Ravens, we finally cured our goddamn center problem. Like, that motherfucker's been a revolving door for years. Like, we ain't had nobody really stay there for multiple years that really held their own for multiple years. Since, I mean, we had a couple good years with Matt Burke. We had a couple good years with fucking Matt Flynn when we won their first Super Bowl. But it was just like, other than those two, revolving motherfucking door, revolving motherfucking door,
I was
revolving
gonna
motherfucking
say, I'll tell you one player teams aren't looking at the center for Alabama after the Rose Bowl. He fucking played himself.
Yeah, no, I
Too
mean,
low snap, like Nick Saban. If I'm you, I'm not saying I'm not, but I hope you're sitting down, eyes peeled, and ears open, because whether you want to or not, let me talk to you. You kick that dumb son of a bitch off your football team right now, because that man was one of the reasons why y'all lost a fucking Rose Bowl. And it's not even close.
bro, listen, I love offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, like, it hurts. Like, I mean, for me, it's like I take it personally at this point,
Yeah.
where it's like when you see a guy just get fucking his ass handed to him, and then he fucks up, especially centers. Like, your one job, you got one job, you got one job.
Yep.
Snap that fucking ball. Like, even if
Yep.
you kind of fuck up a block a little bit, snap the ball.
Yeah.
That is number one. Snap the motherfucking ball and
Like,
snap it
you
correctly.
literally look between your legs to see where the quarterback is before you snap the ball if he's in shotgun formation.
I mean, bro, this is day one shit. This is day one shit as a center.
This
Like,
is
my
Pee
whole
Wee
thing is,
shit.
so listen to me, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. That center starts thinking too much, or that center gets scared. And
Oh,
he's so worried.
he
He's so
got
worried about
scared courtesy of
blocking this
Michigan. I'll tell
motherfucker.
you that. He got
He's so,
scared courtesy of Michigan.
bro, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, bro, he got scared. He's sitting here worried about the guy getting past him instead of
Yup.
worrying about the first things first. Snap that ball.
Absolutely.
That's what you got guards there for, to
Mm-hmm.
help. Like, I mean, it's
It's
upsetting.
it's crazy. But I'll tell you one thing that's crazier. We have seen a lot of teams be on a roller coaster year.
I got it. It's here. It's here.
Wait, is that Tony Siragusa and Michael Strahan?
Yeah. This
Oh,
is the Super
was that
Bowl
the build up to
issue.
the Super Bowl?
This is the Super Bowl issue.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a
Bro,
thing of
bro,
beauty.
when I tell you there's things in here that, like, okay, just because it's first off, like, where's that? There it is. Fucking look at Vince Carter. Look how
Oh,
young Vince Carter in Toronto, Vince Carter. Like, bro, I'm
that
sitting here
was
reading the articles.
2000, 2001?
Yeah,
Oh my god. He was making Shaq go crazy in the fucking dunk contest that year.
January 29th, 2001.
Oh, so he was fresh off that dunk contest win.
And yeah. It's got quite a few nice juicy articles. It's got great pictures. Like, bro, I'm really thinking about like chop chop, cutting that thing up, bro. Like, and
I
because
was gonna say, well,
I
like,
do the epoxy stuff, so I can make a fucking awesome epoxy layout with all the pictures and articles and shit. Like, I'm like, yeah, I can
all
make
right.
something nice.
All right. Well, we are on the second to last topic, but like I've seen a lot of bad officiating over the course of this year, but the game between the Lions and the Cowboys took the fucking cake. Is this year's refs the worst thing we have seen since 2012? Because we all know how that year went. Because that year's referees were fucking college football referees.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely, it's been atrocious, and
Mm-hmm.
at this point, like, I'm gonna make 2 points, one off the other, but yes, the officiating at this point, can we take it to the booth? Can we instead of having four refs on the field, on the fucking field, can we have four guys in the fucking booth that are just looking for penalty? Just four guys, and set the camera angles up. And then for the love of God, can we please get a good camera view? Can we get, bro, Madden? Have you seen Madden? Hey, any TV broadcasters out there?
Or
Have
even
you
what the
seen Madden?
USFL is
It's
doing.
the perfect view. Zoom out right over top the fucking quarterback. You can see the entire defense. You can see the offense. You can see the entire play.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, like I'd understand. Like you're giving me a side judge view. Come on,
absolutely.
bro. This is TV now. We're in 2024.
Yes.
Let's step our fucking game up. CBS.
The USFL
NBC.
technologically is ahead of the NFL.
And that's crazy because it's just like, dude, that it's just like set the camera up to where you can view the long view of the field. Because as a player, as a coach, like that's how you watch it. When you watch film study, that's how you watch it. You don't watch it from the side view. You can't see shit. You can't see foot motions. You can't see foot settings. You can't see any of that shit.
No,
and the same thing goes for the defense. Like, bro, and especially at this point, it should be catered to teams. Like you should be able, like NFL package, fine. You should be able to look at your defense set up the way, like from front side or back side, to where you can see who's moving where, who's sitting where. Like these are options that, like, I'm just saying, if you're paying $200 a year for the NFL package, why shouldn't you be able to have multiple camera angles and be able to pick and choose what you want to watch? They've got 30 fucking cameras out there. They've got 30 of them. There's 30 of them, okay? Now, why can't I switch through and pick which one I want to watch? Okay.
Now, before we get into the next topic, we're going to stay on the atrocious officiating that we have seen this year. But I do want to welcome to the stage somebody that I went on to the show with last night. He is the host. He is the creator behind the Facebook page College Sports Villain, Mr. Andrew Anderson. Brother, thank you for joining.
What's up, y'all? I am glad to be here. Sorry about the delay, man. It's just crap everywhere today.
Hey, it's probably that southeastern driving. Look, I live in Texas. They don't know how to drive out here. I'll tell you what.
I just tried to make it home, man. These people.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. But Mr. Spicy Big Mac and I, we're talking about the ungodly, awful officiating that we have seen this year. And the cherry on top, the coup de grace, the whatever analogy you want to say, was the Detroit Lions versus the Dallas Cowboys. Has this year's officiating crew been worse since 2012? Because we all know how 2012 worked out.
Well, the officiating's always been trash. I've been saying this since probably the 90s. It's always been, Jim Harbaugh ran era. Vegas, we act like Vegas doesn't make decisions, but I mean, if you're a referee out there and somebody hands you $2.5 million and says, make one bad call for me, no one will ever see it. The officiating now, I think it seems like it's worse than it's ever been simply because, like Mac was saying, there's so many camera angles now, and we're seeing all these missed calls. And I think it's just more prevalent out there. I think it's just more visual. I think they've always been trash, to be honest with you. But to his point, you got 36 cameras on the field. What you mean you can't make the right call? That makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, you have every angle ever known to man, and you're still making bad calls. And then you wonder why people call you out. Yes, the officiating is trash. Absolutely. And like no reason not to get it right these days.
We could even go back to the Lions and Cowboys game where Lions offensive lineman Decker was literally went up to the ref, checked himself as eligible because the Lions knew that the play that they were going to run, the referee nodded, walked off. As soon as Decker caught the ball, the refs throw the flag and we're like, oh, illegal touching on the like. You literally saw the guy come up to you, check in as an eligible receiver. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, we all know how the Dallas Cowboys roll.
Can I just say, I believe it was either 2 or 3 years ago when I think Patrick McCary was either a rookie or it was his second year. Ravens got called, touchdown call, got called back for doing that. They said he didn't check in. And he literally walks up to the ref and was like, I'm eligible. Like, you can see he's excited.
Yeah.
You know,
and the ref was so quick to walk away. Like, he nodded, like, acknowledged it, and then was so quick to walk off, he basically forgot.
The head judge is just like, oh, well, I didn't hear you.
Well, you know, it's all stupid anyway, because when you line up in a formation, like there's only certain people that are eligible. And if you've lined up in that formation, in that spot, you are eligible. It's stupid that you have to come and check in anyway. Like, you know, you're in the wide receiver slot, but you're not eligible because you didn't say something. The whole thing is strange to me, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I just wish we had Ocho Cinco in today's game because it would be so entertaining to see him out there right now. Like, I would love it so much. Owens. Right. Terrell Owens was just threw a fucking fit. Like, Ocho Cinco would like dance in front of the ref and like, you know, sprinkle fake money on him. Like, Ocho Cinco was my favorite to watch, man. I love that guy.
I love to hate him.
Yeah, I know, right? As a Ravens fan, I imagine, yes.
I mean, listen to me. I won a lot of games with him in Madden, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I won a lot of games with him in fantasy football. Fantasy football is great. I won by 1 point this year, by the way. I posted. Unbelievable.
I won my championship too.
Did you? I won by 1 point.
I smoked him by like 20.
I unfortunately lost to my fucking brother-in-law. We had WWE games. I was obviously LA Knight, and his team name was head of the table. So we did a little friendly trash talking, and I was like, "No, I ain't gonna acknowledge you." But unfortunately, he came out with the win. I was like, "Hey, man, I had a lot of fun this year. Good game." So it was that friendly trash talk with a friendly finish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I love coming on this show because I can wear my NFL gear. It's not like all geared toward college because my wife bought me this for Christmas, and I love this freaking hoodie, man.
Bro, fire Arthur Smith.
Yeah, he's coming. I mean, no way he survives the season after losing to the Panthers. That was the nail in the coffin right there. Like,
what was the final score? Like 9-7?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ritter got to go too. You know, you got Spencer Rattler out there just waiting, probably second, third round. Man, you got to make a move on somebody like him. I mean Spencer Rattler.
You could put your faith in Taylor Heineke.
I mean, you could, but I mean, Spencer Rattler, think about it. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Gamecock fan. He had less than 3 seconds to throw the ball. Less than 3 seconds. That's how bad our offensive line was, and threw for 368 yards and 2 touchdowns a game. Unfreaking real.
Okay.
Like, come to the Falcons, brother. And Mike Tomlin, Steelers fans calling for him. The dude ain't never had a losing season. We'll take him. Bring Mike Tomlin down to Atlanta. Take him today.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm like, hey, I'll trade you a first round pick for John Harbaugh.
For John Harbaugh, nah, you keep him.
See,
Now you,
you're a smart man. You're a
I
smart
don't
man.
want him.
right.
Jim Harbaugh, I'll take him. Man knows how to cheat well. You ain't cheating. You ain't
He
trying.
ain't no
I'll
Bill
take Jim
Belichick. That's
today.
for damn sure.
Come on, Jim. Come to Atlanta. Bring Connor Stallions with you. Let's go.
Oh man! So we're gonna stay in the topic of the NFL because we got Week 18 matchups coming up, and a lot of these games can be make or break going into the playoffs. So going into tomorrow, being Saturday, we got Pittsburgh at Baltimore.
Baltimore +7.
Yeah.
Baltimore +7.
I mean, granted, Pittsburgh goes to 9-8, but
I don't listen. Pittsburgh ain't scoring more than 10 points.
I'll agree with that.
They're not. They're just. I'm telling you, at home. I'm telling Geno Stone out there running that secondary. Okay, Patrick Queen's going to be running the number 1, bro. Come on, man. They're going to be out there trying to kill them. Okay. They gonna want that respect. They're literally. You gotta understand. If we pitch a shutout, we're talking about historic numbers, points per game. We're talking about we can finish the season number 1 in sacks, number 1 in turnovers, and what was that? Number 1 in points allowed, bro. That's never been done before.
Damn.
Like, bro, if you think our defense is gonna just lay down and just play a soft ass, that's not fitting to happen. This the Steelers, okay? At the end of the day, this the fucking Steelers. I don't know how this didn't get pushed to prime time, okay?
I mean, the Ravens are the old Cleveland Browns, right? So that rivalry runs deep, like deep from back in the day. But
deep AF.
I'm gonna hit you with a lead course, so not so fast, my friend. In Mike Tomlin, we trust. Steelers by a field goal.
Ooh, okay.
I love Mike Tomlin. I hate the Steelers, but I love Tomlin. I want him in Atlanta.
I'll agree with that.
Listen, I'll take Mason Rudolph doesn't finish the game.
Why we gonna hit him with a helmet again?
No,
not unless Pittsburgh is playing Cleveland. That's under different circumstances.
It's old Cleveland.
This defensive tackle called Matabike that's got over 13 sacks this year. I think he's going to have a lot to say about that.
But why play him? I mean, you're already in the playoffs. I mean, what are you playing for? What are you playing your stars?
Oh no, he's playing to break the Ravens sack record for defensive tackle. He's literally, if he gets 15, he'll break the Ravens sack record for defensive linemen. That's what he's going after. Like
Steelers ain't trying to hear that. He getting double teamed. He getting chipped by the running back. Like they gonna hit him with tight end.
I mean, there's a bunch of young guys.
I ain't arguing that. He's a beast, definitely. Yeah, but if I'm the Steelers, I'm chipping him with every play with a tight end or a running back.
No, I mean,
get yourself some, Connor.
But it is.
Sorry, I'm watching hockey right now.
We've got so many young guys on our defense that it's just like I just don't see. I don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers scoring more than twice. And I mean, I'd love to see him only have 6 points, but I'm gonna give him a touchdown.
I think Tomlin outcoaches Harbaugh.
I think the Ravens outplay the Steelers.
I don't see why they would play everybody the whole game when they're.
Oh no! I mean, for us, it's again the whole
Steelers. This game matters.
It matters to us. It matters that, like, you understand, like we got punched in the nuts and lost. Like we lost
hasn't
2 big penalties. That's how the Steelers beat us. 2 penalties. Like we got beat by the fucking refs, bro. It was horrible. That was a fucking shitty ass game. They kept calling fucking flags on us. It was just, bro. I'm telling you, like, I'd be surprised if it ain't a blowout by Huntley. If he don't come out there slinging the gun, like the whole thing is like, y'all only seen a taste of Wallace. Like Wallace, he ran back the touchdown. He's got 4.2 speed. He's I think he's 6'2", 6'3". Like
Mike
bro is.
for what it's worth, and I said it last night on my show, so the receipts are there. I have predicted a 49ers Ravens Super Bowl. So it's not that I don't think your team's not going to go, because they are. I just don't think this game matters as much to them as you think it does. Because you're making a Super Bowl run with one of the best teams in the league. Why go out there? You know what I mean?
Oh no,
But
that's what I'm saying. Our secondary guys, our guys who are secondary, like our starters, the majority of our starters are only going to play the first quarter.
The Steelers aren't trash. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like you're playing the Falcons or the Panthers. The Steelers are a good football team.
Or the Tennessee Titans.
Or the Titans, right. You're playing the Steelers. And even with the backups, I've only got the Steelers by 3 because they need this game.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So next game up, we got a tale of two teams that could make the playoffs. We got the Houston Texans. Granted, they're missing CJ Stroud, but they're playing the Indianapolis Colts, who are winning with Gardner Uncle Rico Minshew of all quarterbacks.
Stroud ain't starting.
I don't think he is. No, I think he's still in the concussion protocol.
He's on the betting lines.
Okay, if he is starting, I'm gonna have to take Houston. If he isn't, I'm taking Indianapolis.
Nah, either way, fuck the Colts. Colts lose.
Not so fast again. I think the Colts at home pull this out and a very close one as well. Maybe not a field goal. Maybe it's a touchdown game.
I can see a field goal to a touchdown game.
It's in Indianapolis. It's the only reason I'm giving them the nod here. If CJ Stroud doesn't play, they definitely don't win. That's just how I feel.
Oh no, I mean, obviously, like I'm just being an asshole because fuck the Colts. But, but no, I mean, I obviously, if Stroud doesn't start, I mean,
they're not winning that game, right?
Yeah, no.
All right, so next game up, this is on Sunday. Cleveland has already clinched a playoff spot with Joe Flacco. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that because Joe Flacco was signed off the streets.
Well, let's call it what it is. Flacco was always one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league, and right now he's getting a chance to prove it.
Yeah, and it just goes to show that the offense in New York with the New York Jets didn't work. So why the hell has it not worked with Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, or even Trevor Siemian?
Because it's the fucking Jets.
That's a fact. That's a fucking fact.
I don't know what else to say about them.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Again, the whole thing is it comes down to your offense. Okay, the simpler your offense is, the more effective it can be, but also the easier it is to read. So you either have to be really fucking good at calling those plays that you want to call repeatedly, or you're going to get your ass kicked when you keep calling the same fucking plays.
I mean, Zach Wilson has a problem with throwing the ball past the hash.
Is essentially out of his prime playing in Cleveland, but Joe Flacco is making him look like Steve fucking Smith and Carolina.
Joe Flacco, like I said, one of the most underrated quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah,
bro, you have to understand. Listen. Again, I'm going to tell you, go to Gary Kubiak. The year he was with Gary Kubiak was his best season. He's literally playing. Stefanski came in under Kubiak, runs Kubiak's system. The most success, like it is something where he can do 3-step drop. He knows where he's throwing. 5-step drop. He knows where he's throwing. Like this is something that he's done. He has this shit in his head, and now he's had multiple reps with these receivers. That's why you see him go back. 1, 2, 3, throw. Like he knows where he's going 80% of the time.
I mean, I was even going to say, the year that the Ravens won the Super Bowl with Flacco under center, Jacoby Jones was the best receiver on the Ravens.
No, he wasn't. Anquan Bolden was by a long time.
Yep,
it was Anquan Bolden. Yep. It was Dennis Pitta. Then it was Torrey Smith. Then it was Jacoby Jones. Jacoby Jones chopped a lot of fucking passes that year. Okay, if it wasn't for the Mile High Miracle and some of those run back touchdowns, some of those drops would have been highlighted. Okay, let me tell you. Okay.
No, I'll agree to that. But anyways, we got Cleveland, who has clinched a playoff spot. I think. Yes. Cincinnati is out of the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
at 8-8. Yeah,
Yeah. So we got Cleveland going into Cincinnati.
for no reason. They've got nothing to play for. Cincinnati wins this game.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh, bro, if Cincinnati don't win this game, fire every motherfucking body.
Right. Absolutely.
Fire
Hey,
everybody.
Jay Browning did what he could, especially with Joe Daddy Burrow. I said what I said. Joe is daddy. I don't care.
He got hurt.
Bro, listen to me. All I'm
That he
saying
did, but when he comes
would be
back, the Bengals
scared.
are coming back with a vengeance.
I would be scared if somehow a coach like Eric Bellamy got a head coaching job with somebody like that to the likes of Joe. Okay. If he had somebody like Burrow, just like he had motherfucking Patrick Mahomes, bro, if you give him that, man, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
like,
telling you.
Again, for me, it's more about
Since he wins
a coach having the players to run their system. If you don't have the right players for your system, it don't matter how good you are, this shit ain't gonna work.
Right.
And it's every position, not just one or two positions. Like, and that's where it sucks. But that's what you have to do as a head coach. If you're going to come in and you're going to revamp a team, you got to get with the GM and say, look, none of these guys fit what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? How can we move them? How can we cut them? How can we get, you know what I mean? Like that's your job. Your job is to help build a team with the GM.
Absolutely.
Now, if the GM's a dickhead, that's kind of, you're kind of fucked.
Well, if you're the GM and you build a philosophy around these players, then you hire a coach that doesn't match that philosophy. Well, that's stupid too. I mean, like I just, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
Like you get a pass happy offense and then you hire
all the time.
All right, so we're all in agreement with Cincinnati getting the win
Yes.
because Cleveland has secured a spot in the playoffs.
Correct.
Okay.
No point to play.
Yeah. No, I'll perfectly agree to that. Minnesota is still fighting or is still in the hunt for a playoff spot, and they're going into Detroit.
Detroit wins this game.
Yeah,
Minnesota's so damn hapless, man. No way they go into Detroit and get a W.
I was going to say Detroit is going to go into this game with a chip on their shoulder after getting screwed against the Dallas Cowboys.
But Kenny says Dallas is going to win the Super Bowl.
Who?
Mac missed that last night.
That he did.
Oh,
we're not going to go there.
That was our reaction too.
Listen to me. My dream come true would be for the Cowboys to get to the Super Bowl, just for us to make it to the Super Bowl and kick the shit out of them. And listen. As a Ravens fan,
Dallas ain't gonna get there.
No.
I'm just saying. I would love to be the one to get to crush their motherfucking dreams. Okay. To have them watch our banners and our confetti come down.
But the divisional round crushes their dreams, and it'll be no different this year.
And San Francisco owns the fucking Cowboys.
Yeah, San Francisco is going to light them up. That is not a good matchup for Dallas. It's just not.
Who is San Francisco going up against first?
I think they have a first round bye, being the best team in the NFC.
Okay. Yeah. I thought they had it, but I wasn't sure. Ain't that funny though? I mean, listen, I'm just saying, like, if we was to do that, run that back again, like,
look, man, San Francisco and Baltimore Super Bowl, which is what I'm predicting. I mean, I even on last night, man, what a fucking Super Bowl that's going to be. Probably the best one we've had in 20 years.
Hold on. You tell me you would want to see that same game again, because that's essentially what it's going to be.
I don't give a shit. I mean, like it matters.
The defenses are there for both teams, and
I'm a defensive guy.
The defense, we kick the shit out of their defense.
It's not going to be the same on a twist.
That's what I mean. Like,
I don't think the coaching staff's going to allow that to happen twice. I think the game is going to be really good. I think it's going to be like, do you remember Bama LSU 9-6? Everybody said how shitty of a game, but man, I love defense. I think it'll be a 17-14 game either way, and I'm watching it and I'm excited because like the last couple Super Bowls, were you excited? Honestly. I mean, I watched it, but excited? No.
I was excited just because Joe Burrow and the Bengals made it in 2021 and the halftime show, but that's a different story.
So yeah, I got a PSA 10 Patrick Mahomes rookie jersey card. Um, yeah, so no, I was very happy that he kept winning Super Bowls. Okay, that price just kept going up.
But yes, Kenny says Dallas is winning the Super Bowl, and your face when I told you that was just like our face on the show
Yeah.
last time. We're like,
Yeah, bro,
Dallas.
it's just like
Like
But
I
he had a
really
whole
threw
conspiracy
my
theory,
headphones down because I
Listen.
couldn't believe the bullshit the man was spewing.
He
But-
doesn't know Kenny, does he?
we are the best team in the AFC, and I am not going to sit here and say that I'm confident we're going to win the Super Bowl this year, bro. I don't even know who we're playing in the divisional. I don't know what they're going to look like. I don't know who's all going to be healthy.
Hey,
I
y'all
don't
ain't
know
playing the Titans. I know that much because Derrick Henry ran a mile on your asses.
Okay, you're
Hey,
right.
But
look,
it's Derrick Henry.
I mean,
that too.
yeah, no, I mean for sure.
Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry.
Like,
That man,
Nobody
that
stops
man
him.
is a modern day version of Brandon Jacobs. He has no business being 6'5", 260 pounds, and being a fucking running back.
And he has no fear. That's
No.
why he's so effective. Zero fear.
Yeah. I mean,
Man.
the man sent Josh Norman to the fucking shadow realm of all places.
bro, I mean, look, man, I'm just saying, like, come on, let's think about this here. If any of us could be a running back in today's game, who we want to be? I want to be Derrick motherfucking Henry. I want to be able to run, motherfucker, kill, plow, motherfucker, whatever I want to do, I can do to a motherfucker while I'm running 15 to 20 miles an hour.
I was going to say, for me, it's a toss-up between Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley because
Derrick Henry reminds me so much of Jerome Bettis. He really does.
I can see
like,
that.
I love me some Jerome Bettis. Like, I know that's a little before y'all's time, but like Jerome Bettis was
I know.
fun to watch.
You know Jerome Bettis, I'll tell you that.
Hold on, bro. I got plenty of gray
Unfortunately,
hair
I
over
caught
here,
him in his later years, but
And
Like,
so
you
is
remember
Jerome
him in your
motherfucking
youth.
Bettis. Hold on. Jerome Bettis, Rashad Mendenhall.
I remember him in his
my
youth.
Keith
God.
Miller. Okay.
I know I
Hines
look
Ward.
young,
I
but
fucking
I'm
hated
old.
these guys.
I saw Jerome Bettis' rookie year. I was there.
Like this is what I just showed
Saragusa.
him. This is the 2001 issue. This is the Super Bowl issue from the Giants versus the Ravens.
How old were you in
Unfortunately,
2001?
the Super Bowl didn't work out the way I
I
thought
was
it would,
10.
being a Giants fan, but there's that.
I was 10.
You were
Yeah,
10?
I was 10
10.
as well.
So I can remember all the way back to around 96. Like I can remember going down to Camden Yards right there on Russell Street when they announced that they were going to be called the Ravens. Like I can remember that shit. So I mean,
I remember
96,
the
that's
original
pretty far
Cleveland
back.
Browns. Bernie Kosar, man. I remember it all.
Now I can say this. So I was fortunate enough to grow up with a lot of uncles who videotaped a lot of football games, baseball games. So I got to see a lot of classics. And then ESPN classics. My grandmother had cable. So I would go over there, bro, and I would watch Bill Russell. So many classics, Larry Bird, Bill Walton. And it's just like you would get, and I would be able to absorb all of these games and learn all of these biographies and stuff like that. So
I lived through the Larry Bird era. Like it was
Ooh.
awesome. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. Like I lived it. It was my childhood.
yeah,
It was awesome.
Michael Jordan was my Michael Jordan. Now, like to me, for growing up and watching Michael Jordan win championship, and then I'm like, I start to get a little older, and then he comes back with the Wizards, and it's like, yeah, he's right up the street. I'm in Baltimore. He's in DC. Yeah, like yeah.
He's the greatest of all time. But I tell you, I hated him growing up, and not that I could keep my eyes off of him if he was on TV. But I'm a Hawks fan. And he used to break our heart because we had Dominique Wilkins and we had a team that could make a real run. But we
don't forget the dunk that he had on Dikembe Mutombo.
We had Mutombo, we had Kevin Willis, we had a team. But
Yeah.
we also ran into the buzzsaw that was the Chicago Bulls of the 90s.
Everybody in the East ran into the Chicago Bulls.
Broke my heart every year, Michael Jordan did. Every year. But anyway. Next game.
So, like I said, we're all in agreement with Detroit getting the win over Minnesota, and Minnesota gets their dumbasses knocked out of the playoffs.
Give me.
All right. So next game up, Tennessee has been eliminated from the playoffs, but Jacksonville is still fighting for a wild card spot, I believe.
Right. Is Trevor Lawrence back?
I believe so. I'm not too sure. I probably have to look things over.
If Trevor Lawrence is back, I got the Jaguars because, like, I know we like to make fun of him, but the kid makes a difference.
That he does.
And he came from Clemson, so the hate is real. So when I tell you that he's talented, then you know it's legit because I hate giving him credit. But if he's playing, they win.
Yeah, no, if he's playing, then yes, the Jaguars definitely get the win. If he is not, then also, yes, the Titans definitely get the win. This is a meaningless game. I don't know why I'm bringing it up. I brought it up in the topics before. When it's max time to go, you and I will go over the topics that were discussed earlier because obviously you weren't on the show.
Right.
That's okay. But we'll go over them. Anyway, so we got the New York Jets going into New England. This is a meaningless game, and it doesn't even matter who wins.
New England.
New England.
Yeah, I'm going New England
Belichick, he has to win this game.
It's Belichick's last game in New England.
He has to win. If Bailey Zappe is getting the start, I completely agree that New England is winning.
I think you could get the start and New England is winning. I don't think it's going to be that close.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm too old, but you are not. So,
so next game up, or the next two games that are up, it is a battle for the NFC South. The New Orleans Saints are there, but also the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are there. The Atlanta Falcons are going into New Orleans.
So here's the deal. This is the only time I will ever say this. Go Charlotte Panthers. But the Falcons need this game, but they're hapless. Their coach is trash. Our quarterback is trash. But with that being said, man, fucking believe. Go Falcons. Falcons by a touchdown.
Okay. Big Mac, what you got to say about that?
I'm gonna take the Saints for a touchdown. And I'm talking about final 4 minutes. Derek Carr somehow, he fucks up the first drive. The defense gets the ball back. 2 minutes left, he drives down and scores. That's how they win.
See, I feel the same way. I think it's going to be tied, and Derek Carr's good for a very, very stupid interception every single game, and I'm counting on it.
Now, see, I would actually like the Saints to win this game, just so we've seen a rarity of times in baseball. Game 163. I would love to see a Week 19 game between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the NFC South Championship.
And fuck the Buccaneers, too.
Oh, it's only because they got Baker Mayfield under center, isn't it?
And the horse they rode in on.
And the horse they rode in on. I like Baker Mayfield. I do. I just, NFC South rivals, fuck them. I mean, I can't, and I hate the Charlotte Panthers so much, but I got to pull for them on this game because I just want to, even though we're not going to break it, but if we somehow win this game, we all have identical records, and at least I can say, we had the tie for the South, even though we're not going to win the tiebreaker, but we had the same record. At least that will help me mentally going into next year after the shit fucking season they threw on us.
I mean, Kyle Pitts' talent is still being wasted. Bijan Robinson is bigger than LaShawn McCoy, but the man can still move laterally. Make it make sense.
It's trash, man. We can score 42 points a game and we'd lose 43-42. I'm just over this coaching staff, man. How you put up 7 against the Panthers? Go home. We don't want you no more. 7.
All right, so Mr. Anderson, you got the Falcons winning. Big Mac, do you got the Saints winning?
Yeah.
Okay. Next game up, I want to see the Bucks win just so I can see Tampa versus New Orleans in a Week 19 game. And the Buccaneers are going into Carolina.
So Carolina has 2 wins. One of them over the Falcons makes me sick to my stomach. But the Charlotte Panthers are at home, but it doesn't matter because nobody's going to show up to the fucking game. Buccaneers big. And that's how our season dies.
That's fair.
Ain't no way that the Buccaneers are playing for what they're playing for and get beat by the Panthers. Ain't going to happen.
Ain't no way. No, I agree with that.
You know what? I might put $5 on them.
You're gonna put some money on the Panthers, aren't you?
$5. I put $5. See what they really got. I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine next week we come on here and like, goddamn, who the fuck thought the Panthers were gonna be able to put their asses down?
I mean, I'll be asking that question like, how the fuck did the Panthers pull this out of their ass?
You know what? If the Panthers win this game, I'll give Kenny's Cowboy prediction another look.
I'll agree to that. Ken, if you're out there and you're watching this,
hey, look, all I'm saying is the Cardinals beat the Cowboys, okay?
The Cardinals also beat the Eagles.
So, I mean, any dog can have the fucking sun shine on his ass one day. You know what
This
I mean?
game matters too much.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, I got money on the Buccaneers. My parlays have Buccaneers.
Yeah, mine do too.
Boys, when I tell you we got arguably the best rivalry in the NFL coming up for this next game, it might as well be the best rivalry in the NFL. The Bears, granted they still have the number 1 overall pick. Thanks, Carolina, you dumb sons of bitches. But they also have a chance to play spoiler and knock Green Bay out of the playoff hunt.
They do. But they do not beat Green Bay.
Yeah, I was going
to say Chicago is going into
by
Green Bay. As much as I want to root for the Bears, fucking give me Chicago. I'm pulling a Pat McAfee.
Nah, I'm going to take Green Bay by 5.
All right, respectable.
I don't know if they win by a touchdown, but I know they definitely score more. They win by more than 3. So it's going to be somewhere in that little sweet spot.
We shall see. I'm
definitely taking Green Bay.
I'm taking Green Bay too.
I know I'm sounding biased, but give me Chicago. Da Bears.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I ain't got no love for Green Bay. I wouldn't care if the Bears won, but
I put the Bears on a couple of my parlays, so no matter what, I'm not completely fucked. But I definitely got more money on Green Bay winning than I do the Bears.
All right, so next game up, we're going to veer away from the NFC North, and we're going to go out west. We're going to Vegas, boys. Not in that way.
We're up in
Denver is going into Vegas. I believe Denver still has a spot in the playoffs. I think they got eliminated. I'm not too sure. But Denver is going into Las Vegas. Vegas is basically playing with nothing left to prove because they've been eliminated.
Denver's eliminated.
Listen. Okay.
Oh, Denver's been eliminated?
The Raiders have a lot to prove right now. That head coach has a lot to prove right now. Because right now, with this win, he could possibly solidify keeping this job.
Yeah, I'll agree to that. I mean, the dude is winning with Aiden O'Connell.
So, exactly. And now you're going into an offseason where there's a few quarterbacks that could get out there on the market. There's a few quarterbacks that might be able to be traded for. Plus, there's always a new crowd coming in. So, here's the thing. My whole thing is, no. Worst case scenario, like say Cleveland wins 1 game. Okay, Flacco wins 1 game in the playoffs. You understand if he wins that 1 game, even if he loses the next game, or say he does make it to Super Bowl and he loses the Super Bowl, whatever. Okay, next year, do you think the Cleveland Browns are going to keep Flacco as a starting quarterback? No. That man gonna be out there walking the streets on some team.
But he got his money.
It's gonna go.
I mean, Flacco got his money, but I'm not putting my trust in fucking Deshaun Watson anytime soon.
Well, he's the Brett Favre mercenary of our day.
Bro, could you imagine him going to the Raiders though? Could you imagine him he's got Devontae Adams, fucking Josh Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
He's got, you know what I mean? That tight end, that Myers, bro, he was a monster this year.
But
I picked him up
all the
on fantasy a
quarterbacks
couple
coming out of the
times. He
draft.
scored me 15, 13 points.
There's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out of the draft this year. A lot. Like one of the better drafts for quarterbacks in a long time. With that being said, John Elway does not play for the Broncos anymore, so Denver will not be beating Las Vegas this week.
Okay. Yeah, I could really see.
You can suit him up. You can suit him up.
Might as well. He's doing better as Wilson would do.
I mean,
and he's like 70.
Him any day of the week. That man balled out, and he got a 16-6 win over the fucking Chargers.
And Wilson robbed Denver, boy. Give me that money.
Oh, you talk about highway robbery.
Robbed them.
Listen. There's a couple teams that got robbed this year. All right, there's a couple teams that got robbed
of $230 million fully guaranteed.
Well,
Bro.
You know what? Atlanta said we're not getting robbed this year, and we proved it because that shitty season, like Desmond fucking Ritter, like get the fuck out of here, man. Like
I don't know. I think under the right coach, I think Desmond Ritter could do something.
You know what? Have you watched the film on Desmond Ritter this year with like
I've watched
open receiver after open receiver after open receiver?
Can't do a damn thing in the red zone. I know that for a fact.
Just fuck that guy, man. Open receivers left and right, and he's not throwing it to him. Like, you afraid to throw across the field? Like, you don't believe? I mean, you got a cannon. Throw the ball. I'm sorry. I'm really upset over
what happened to Robinson? What happened to Robinson, bro? He looked like lightning in a bottle, and then they just put a cap on that motherfucker.
Well, let me tell you what happened. Desmond Ritter can't throw the fucking ball, so they put 8 in the fucking box every time they play us and say ha ha ha. And we're going to make Desmond Ritter beat us, and he can't. And since they're putting 8 in the box, we can't run the ball because there's somebody there every gap. And that's just what happened. It was just that easy to figure out after the first few games.
That's why I prefer Taylor Heineke.
I don't care who it is at this point.
You guys have a fullback?
What, man, we can put 2 fullbacks in there. You put 8 NFL players on the line, you ain't running the ball. It just is what it is. I mean, unless Barry Sanders is out there making fools miss, it just ain't gonna happen.
So I guess I'm a little spoiled to have Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I imagine so. Having one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league on your team, that must be fucking nice.
I didn't even think Lamar Jackson was going to even do something in this league. Like, when I saw him go 4-0 when he got the start, it was like, okay, cool. Let's see what you can do in a full season. It was like a year or two later, the man won MVP unanimously. And it was like, oh, shit, this man could actually do something.
I will tell you why. Because running quarterbacks in this league don't last long because NFL defenses take offense to it. And what Lamar Jackson
look what happened to RG3.
You look at RG3, you look at Steve Young, you look at Michael Vick, they went after him. But Lamar Jackson has one thing that those guys really didn't, a deep, accurate ball. I love Steve Young, great quarterback, but he did not have a deep, accurate ball. Lamar Jackson does. So now you have to respect the fact that he's going to burn your ass.
Wait,
and
Michael Vick didn't?
He's going to burn your ass. No,
Michael Vick didn't have a deep, accurate ball?
No. Michael Vick absolutely did not have a deep, accurate ball.
Not the same. Michael Vick was also left-handed too. So,
that's true.
No. He didn't. Like, don't get me wrong. He was accurate within 40 yards, but anything over 40 yards.
This is, as a Falcons fan,
growing up like, fuck it, somebody's down there somewhere, or fuck it, Deshaun Jackson is down there somewhere.
I've been a Falcons fan since 1984, and I love me some Michael Vick. But if I'm putting together a team all time, and I need one quarterback to lead me to the promised land, Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson, based on talent, taking Lamar Jackson, man.
Okay.
And I love Michael Vick. Don't get me wrong. I see that, man. I love me some Michael Vick. I was so excited when we got him. but he
That's
ain't
from
throwing a deep accurate
2006.
ball.
That's from, I think that's from 2006. Kelly Gregg sacking Michael Vick.
Michael Vick had happy feet. Lamar Jackson has composure. That's another difference between them
That's
two
true.
quarterbacks.
That's true.
Lamar Jackson is a generational talent, and by the time his career is over, because all we hear is Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes, but by the time his career is over, it'll speak for itself.
No, it really will.
The whole thing, like, I'll say this, right? If Lamar Jackson can start winning the games that matter and being healthy for the games that matter, then I mean, bro, I think you're talking about a real rivalry here. Like, I mean, because at this point he's looking more like Dan Marino, and Patrick Mahomes is looking more like fucking Elway.
Elway was a better quarterback than Marino, so like that just totally twisted my head up, because I think I know what you were trying to say.
No, I mean, as far as career paths, like, you're having a guy who's won a lot of great games, and he's had a lot of great seasons, and he's had a lot of great offense, but when it comes down to winning the ones that matter,
correct.
That's all I'm talking about. I'm talking about just winning. We're just.
I thought we were talking about throwing the ball. Because,
no, not at all.
Because Dan Marino threw the ball 70 times a game, and he won a lot of games, but he ain't ever win shit that mattered. John Elway,
he didn't win a Super Bowl. I'll tell you what.
That's what I'm saying with Lamar. Lamar has won almost you're talking about a guy who's wins 80% of the games he's played in.
You're right. If he doesn't win a Super Bowl, we will call him this generation's Dan Marino. You are absolutely correct, because he's had the team, he had the talent, he has the coaching, and it needs to happen.
And for me, it is like, I think that is the biggest disappointment with Aaron Rodgers. Like,
he has one though.
He's won.
He has won, but as soon as he went to the Jets, it was Super Bowl or bust. And the worst thing that could have happened to him happened.
He had 6 years throughout his 10 years in Green Bay. 10 good years he had 6 of those with a good defense. He had a good defense.
This dude mushrooms,
bro. He played the Vikings and couldn't put up over 25 fucking points. You can't put over 25 points up on the Vikings
because he's out there eating mushrooms and shit in the off season. Like, you heard what he said. Like, the guy doesn't even fucking know what a wide receiver is. He's got Goombas and shit running.
Or I was gonna say, he didn't know who a wide receiver was until Devontae Adams came to the team.
I mean, you know what? Aaron Rodgers is great, and he'll go down as a good, but like, the guy's a weirdo. That
really is.
All I'm saying
really is. We're gonna get it. We're gonna circle back to that, but yeah, he really is a weirdo.
Yes.
All right, so we got a little off track, but we're gonna go out east. Philadelphia is fighting for the NFC East. They are going into the Meadowlands. Granted, the team name is the New York Giants. They play in New Jersey. I still call them the New York Giants, but
that's tax purposes.
I was gonna say, I will fight anybody tooth and nail that wants to be like, oh, they should be the New Jersey Giants. Okay, well, the Dallas Cowboys should be the Arlington Cowboys because that's where they play.
I mean, the Giants are fitting to get raped. That's just where I'll leave that.
Yeah. No, I'll agree to that. After blowing a lead,
Philly.
Yeah, Philly is going into New York, and they're playing the Giants.
Do they have a reason to play?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The NFC East is on the line.
Yes.
Who's on the line again?
Eagles and the Cowboys are both 11-5.
Yes.
Oh shit! Who?
It matters.
Oh shit! Oh well, damn. There you go. Okay, go Eagles.
Eagles.
There you go. There you go. All right, so we got an NFC West matchup. Another team that is fighting for a wild card spot, the Seattle Seahawks, going into Arizona.
So they should win, but they won't because Pete Carroll is completely checked out.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm taking Seattle.
Yeah.
I'm taking Seattle. I'm just gonna go with old trusty. I feel like the players out there can make enough plays. You have
Yeah.
Metcalf, you have Lockett, you have Smith, Geno Smith and Smith no whatever hyphenated. I don't even
Jackson Smith and Jiva or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, hey bro, he helped me win my fantasy league. He helped me win my
There
fantasy.
you go.
I had Walker, Metcalf and fucking
Man, I get it, but Pete Carroll's a joke. I mean, you got the fucking beast mode in the back, and you gonna throw a 2-yard pass with Russell Wilson.
He can't let it go.
I can't.
Just let it go, man.
I can't let it go.
If Pete Carroll didn't make that decision, we wouldn't be talking about it to this day, though.
Yeah, like we are still talking about it. Like
exactly.
It's like having Jerome Bettis in the backfield, and then you're out there throwing the ball with Cordell Stewart. Like, stop. Give the ball to
Hines
the butt.
Ward or somebody.
Cordell. Yeah. Anyway, so to the next game.
Anyways, so next game up, I think this should be a no-brainer because we got Kansas City going into LA. Kansas City, they've been dropping the ball figuratively and literally. They couldn't catch their wide receivers couldn't catch COVID if it fell into their laps.
Kansas City can't advance any further than they're at right now. So there's no reason for Patrick Mahomes to play in company. Chargers win the game.
I'm still gonna go with Kansas City because they've had a up and down season. I really think they go into this game with something to prove. Like, hey, we're still a team to beat when it comes to playoff time.
Chargers trying to sell tickets.
That's true. That's true.
Who's the starting quarterback for the Chargers?
Justin Herbert, I believe, or no, Easton Stick.
No, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Andy Reid can outcoach whoever that is over there coaching.
That's true. Another team that is fighting for a playoff spot, I guess the Rams found some fucking momentum. Matthew Stafford decided, hey, Puka Nacua, it means no worries. You throw the ball his way, the kid is coming down with something.
He's going to get Rookie of the Year.
It wouldn't surprise me. But this San Francisco, they ain't playing with nothing to prove because they already locked up the best record in the NFC, I believe, and the number one seed as well.
Well, they have not locked up the best record because you have three teams with 11 wins in the NFC.
Yeah.
So
anybody hold the tiebreaker?
They did lock up the number one seed in the NFC.
They hold the tiebreaker. Yes. I even with that being said, the Rams ain't fucking beating the 49ers.
No. San Francisco is like, hey, Rams, fuck off. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all ain't getting into the playoffs.
That's an old school rivalry for me because it was the LA Rams back then, right? And then they moved to St. Louis and then back or whatever. But yeah, as much as I hate the 49ers, and I do a lot, they win this game.
Yeah, I'm
right. Oh, God. Well, we got another NFC East matchup. Dallas is still fighting for the NFC East, aside from the Philadelphia Eagles, and they are going to Washington to take on the Redskins. I don't care what anyone says. Washington is still going to be the Redskins till my last breath.
I mean, I get it, and unless Theismann comes out of retirement, the Commanders are not winning this fucking game. Dallas big.
Yeah, as much as big a Giants fan that I am, I think Dallas gets this win. Yeah. And much like the NFC South, we see a Week 19.
Yeah, I want to see the Cowboys lose, but I mean,
they ain't gonna. The Commanders, I mean, ain't gonna happen.
No, that's true. All right, so closing things out, Buffalo, man, they've had a roller coaster season.
Yeah, a little bit.
They're 10-6 right now. The AFC East is up for grabs, and Miami is 11-5.
They are.
Buffalo is going into Miami. This is for the AFC East. This is still for a playoff spot.
And you know what? I'm going to channel my inner Thurman Thomas here. I'm picking the Bills in the upset.
Okay.
I picked the Bills to go into Miami and be like,
okay.
The Bills are the favorites. On the betting line, the Bills are the favorites.
Are they? Well, then they agree with me. I think the Bills are going to go in and pull it off. Like, how the fuck are they the favorites going into my, like, what? You know what? I get it. Miami is Miami. The Bills are going to win. That's my opinion.
I mean, Miami is 1-4 against teams that have an above 500 record.
I mean, yeah, 1-5 now.
Yeah, soon to be 1-5. All right. Well, that is all.
Miami.
You're going to go with Miami?
You got Miami?
Oh yeah, I got Miami. I got Miami by at least 3.
Oh,
at least 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, no. That's funny. No.
Wait a minute. I'll take the bet.
I mean, listen. If the Bills can keep up, I do see the Dolphins scoring at least 3 touchdowns.
I can see that.
That's a no-brainer. Like,
I mean, unless Tyreek Hill can run with
and I believe Waddle's supposed to be healthy.
Tyreek Hill is supposed to be healthy?
Tyreek Hill's supposed to be healthy, and Waddle's supposed to be healthy.
I was going to say, unless Tyreek Hill can run with a walking boot, that is probably the only way that the Dolphins win this game.
Even with Tyreek Hill, I'm going with the Bills.
That's fair. But yeah, so that is all the NFL picks. There is going to be a lot of drama going into this Sunday for the NFL. A lot of playoff hopes are on the line for certain teams.
Saturday
as well. My apologies. A lot of playoff hopes are on the line for certain teams, and this is a make or break game. But man, oh man, like Green Day said it best. Some teams are meant to walk the boulevard of broken dreams, baby. I want to thank Big Mac, Mr. Andrew Anderson. I want to keep you on standby. We're going to go over some of the topics that Mr. Big Mac and myself talked about. Big man, have yourself a good night.
Peace. Nice.
All right. So, like we started off the show, I've seen a lot of games going into the first 2 weeks of college football, but I don't think I saw a game that was a bigger blowout than the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, so let's call it what it was. So Florida State fans who still are saying something are delusional because they're calling themselves a championship team. Mm-hmm. And if you're a championship team, even if you have opt-outs, you have blue chip recruits, next man up mentality. And next man up mentality doesn't fucking get beat 63-3. Florida State was a fraud. I've been saying it on Billings all year long. They're a fraud. I told everybody they're a fraud, and it just came to light that they were a fraud.
I mean, for me, it came to light that Florida State were frauds after the ACC game. But people want to say, oh, they won with third-string backup. Cool. Ohio State did the same thing, but they want to forget about the talent that Ohio State had on both sides of the field.
Yeah. Even with Jordan Travis and that full strength, Florida State still does not beat Georgia.
I was going to say, if the players on Florida State weren't a bunch of dumbasses – and they didn't opt out or transfer out, Jordan Travis isn't injured. He stays healthy. He wins the Heisman unanimously because let's be honest, he probably would have this year if he stayed healthy. That's my opinion.
Competition matters.
Yes, you're right.
He didn't play nobody. I think Penix should have won it, and he got robbed. And I get it. You know, Daniels played in the SEC, and that's the best competition there is. But Man, Penix was something special this year. We made him special.
I completely agree with that. I had Penix. I really thought Penix was going to win because he had 4 season-ending injuries in Indiana, and then I think last year the Huskies went 12-1, just edged out Texas in the Alamo Bowl, and then they beat Texas. We'll get to that Sugar Bowl shootout in just a sec. But yeah, if Florida State had their starters playing and they were at full strength, would the score have been any different in the Orange Bowl?
Yes, the score would have been different because competition matters. However, we're still looking at like a 35-17 game. I mean, it's still not competitive, but it's not a 60-point rate.
It would have been somewhat competitive, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, because this surely wasn't.
No, absolutely not. And like I said, Georgia went into this game with a chip on their shoulder.
Oh, yeah, they went out with something to prove.
Yeah, exactly. And Georgia, man, oh, man, are they going on a revenge tour next season?
Yeah, Georgia wins national championship next year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and less dramatic. Everybody's like, well, they lost 8 5-stars to the portal. Well, they already have all 5 stars, and they have the #1 recruiting class again this year. It doesn't matter who they lose. That's my point.
Yeah. And then, hey, like we discussed last night, Kenny, I don't give a fuck what you say. Kirby Smart ain't going nowhere. He's staying in Georgia.
He's a god at his alma mater. Back-to-back national championships. The 3rd season, they should have made it. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. $12 million a year, right? Doesn't he make $12 million a year? He ain't going nowhere.
No, Georgia becomes a dynasty after next season, and it's not even close.
Yeah,
but
they are.
Yeah, but next game up, man, oh man, we had a rumble in the Rose Bowl. On Michigan's best day, it was Alabama's worst day. And that's the only way teams outside of the SEC get the win over Alabama. So did Alabama's loss in the Rose Bowl show how rocky of a season, despite going 11-1, did it really show how rocky of a season Alabama had this year?
So let's analyze Alabama's rocky season. They had a rocky season and yet should have won the game in the college football playoffs. That's where Nick Saban had, like, people saying Alabama this and that, but I mean, we're talking about one of their worst seasons ever, and they should have won a playoff game. I don't think if Jim Harbaugh hadn't been scouting all year long like he was, they beat Alabama. We can say what we want, but they've been scouting Alabama all year, Georgia all year, Texas all year. Like, they'd be stupid not to, right? So without the extra eyes, they don't beat Alabama. They already have the game plan. But with that being said, Alabama and Georgia again next year, man. And in a 12-team playoff, you put Alabama on one side and you put Georgia on the other side of the bracket, and you let them meet in the national championship game, man. It's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. I think it'll be fun, too. I think it'll be just as competitive as well. And I think Alabama goes back to the drawing board and doesn't draw up a QB draw play on 4th and goal on the 5-yard line with a chance to force double overtime.
I think it was an RPO, and Milroe was just too young to make the right decision. Green. Because if you had any of the quarterbacks in the past of Alabama there, that's a win or that's a score. But Milroe will be fine. He made a bad decision, cost him the game. I'm sure that Nick
he has a bounce back season next year. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. We'll be talking about him in the Heisman next year. He may not win it, but he'll be in the conversation. But with that being said, hats off to Michigan. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
But yeah, since Michigan is in the national championship, we got to talk about their opponent. We saw a shootout in the Sugar Bowl between Washington and Texas. Now, granted, it took Texas and Quinn Ewers up until the last 5 minutes of the 3rd quarter until the end of the game to finally get some traction under their feet. I mean, I trust Michael Penix Jr. more than I do Quinn Ewers. I trust Jackson Dart of Ole Miss more than Quinn Ewers. I trust Jane Daniel more than Quinn Ewers. But despite the loss to Washington, did Texas prove that they're back?
Yes, and I will tell you why.
Ooh,
Texas under Steve Sarkisian, who he's a terrible coach when the game's on the line. But Texas won a lot of games this year, including the Alabama game, going into Alabama by controlling the ball.
And that's a hard place to win, too, going into Tuscaloosa.
It is. They won this year with field position and time of possession, and that's amazing. Texas is back. The talent is there. I think if Texas plays Washington 5 more times, they win 4 of them. However, what Washington did was watch the Oklahoma game and what Dillon Gabriel did and how he moved. And Michael Penix Jr. is better than Dillon Gabriel. So they were able to execute it even better when it mattered. And taking nothing away from Washington, he's saying they would lose, against Texas again. They're there. They're in the national championship game. And Michael Penix Jr. But if Quinn Ewers, who I think is a fantastic quarterback, if he goes down, Texas is still a great team. If Michael Penix Jr. goes down, we're not talking about Washington, no national championship game. Let's just call it what it is.
Nah, I'll agree to that. I mean, the national championship is set up the way it is set up. We got Mini versus Wumbo. If you know the reference, you know the reference.
Yes.
Yeah, so normally I don't like bringing politics. I don't like mixing politics into sports, but if you're a WWE fan, like myself, obviously, with the attire that I'm wearing, I've heard of the list of Jericho, but recently, this past week, the list of Epstein was released, and Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers wasn't shy of the spotlight and really said, oh, well, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Jimmy Kimmel was on the list of Epstein going to the island and making frequent visits, obviously. But Jimmy Kimmel was really quick to clap back. Does the reaction time with Jimmy Kimmel towards Aaron Rodgers really show like how guilty he is of potentially being on the list?
I'm so glad you brought this up. Yes. Jimmy Kimmel is one of the dirtiest players in the game because, how can a guy who had a show called The Man Show, which was fucking hilarious, by the way, as before your time.
I mean, Joe Rogan was on the show, but that was the only reason I watched it when I was a kid.
So this guy comes out and they make fun of women constantly. Huge misogynistic, wore blackface. And then talked funny like Carl Malone, and does all this stuff, and he's forgiven, and he can just go on and he can be a talk show host and one of the top liberals out there, because he sold his soul. I would not be surprised if that man is on that list 100%, like at all.
I mean, even when the list came out, so many people were like, oh, the left was like, oh, Donald Trump should be on the list. He should be on it. He should be mentioned more times than the Clintons. Guess what? He wasn't. And the only reason that Jimmy Kimmel is in the position that he is because he signed a deal with the devil being Jeffrey Epstein. And he literally uses his late night host show to trash talk the Republican Party and Donald Trump when Donald Trump was making all the difference in the world when he was president.
Did you see the new list that came out today that implicated Hillary Clinton?
Oh, yeah, because like the Clintons were mentioned over... they were mentioned over 150 times on that list.
You know what, though? When I think of the slimiest people in the world, Bill Clinton tops the list. And if I have to think of somebody who was slimier than him, that's fucking Hillary. Yeah. So, I'm not a Republican. I am a proud libertarian. Taxation is theft. And I call it as I see it. They were the slimiest. And you know what? And this, I'll even go further here. Like, Hillary Clinton is so powerful. Nothing will happen to her. Hillary Clinton could murder somebody in front of me right now, like right in front of me. And when they come ask me what happened, I don't know shit because people just come up missing. Like, she got Epstein in a maximum security prison. She's a
I
powerful
mean, the
woman.
movie 13 Hours of Benghazi speaks for itself. She knew what was going on, and she played it off like it was nothing.
And she did, and I also think she took the hit for Obama on that one. I think Obama gave the command to stand down, and she took the heat for him with the promise of she would be the next president. However, enter Donald Trump, and history goes down.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Now, I'm not condoning what any of these slime balls did. Like, I get it. Money is money. But, I mean, any one of those females that really took the money really should have known what they were getting themselves into and should have had a decent amount of self-respect before, like, doing what they did. Again, I'm not condoning what these idiots did. But at the same time, I have no sympathy for what these females did, accepting the money.
So here we go.
It's a for me, it's a double-edged sword.
If it was just prostitution island, nobody would say anything. Ladies took the money. It was a business transaction. They knew what they're doing. They move on about their day. However, it was pedophile island, right? So now that the ladies were part of pedophile island, and they're like, well, I can play victim and I can get money, and that's where this is coming from. Because if it was just prostitution island, nobody would care. You're an adult. You took some money. This is your chosen profession, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, fuck those slime balls. They're out there, they're paying money to have sex with kids. Jeffrey Epstein, everybody's like, he didn't kill himself. I don't care if he killed himself or not. The dude deserved to die.
He really did. Absolutely.
I got no sympathy for that guy. Scuzzball.
Completely agree.
He got what he deserved.
No, period. He really did. I mean, even if more names are brought up,
and they will be.
there certainly will be. I mean, Cat Williams is going after every comedian known to man that even is on that list. Like,
and they're hating on him too.
He went after Chris Tucker. He went after Kevin Hart, and Kevin Hart took the Jimmy Kimmel route. Like, Cat Williams was in this type of position. Guess what? He had 19 felonies, no conviction. Prison and jail are not the same.
Well, you know what? Let's compare. So if you got caught smoking crack and you're an adult and you've made that decision, but yet it's against the law and you go to jail, that's one thing. But you pay money to rape children, fuck you. And
absolutely.
So it's not the same. Cat Williams smoking crack in his own house with the decision by himself is not equated to raping children.
No, it really isn't.
So I say go, Cat, get him. Get him, buddy.
Absolutely.
Take him down.
You put everybody on blast, my dude.
Yes. Take them down.
Facts. Like I said, though, I know we talked about this. I don't like mixing sports and politics because they're on their own.
This ain't politics for me. I'm a father.
Yeah.
It's personal.
But yeah, so we're going to move on. So clearly, we're going to stay in the AFC East because Aaron Rodgers does play football for the Jets. They're in the AFC East. You know who else is in the AFC East? The New England Patriots. Clearly, Mac Jones didn't work out this year. He had a successful rookie season. They made it to the playoffs. All right, cool. It's Belichick's like third, fourth year without Tom Brady, I believe. Mac Jones, he got the Patriots back to the playoffs. Since then, he ain't been the dude.
You know what? More power to him. It's the dynasty is over, and it's a clash between what Bill Belichick wanted to do and the GM being smart enough to know that time has passed. Right. I think the GM is right here. I think he's had so much success. He just believes in it so much and he refuses to change, right? It's like Dabo Swinney at Clemson. He refuses to change. The transfer portal is here and you can't win without it. And Nick Saban did. Nick Saban's like, fuck it, I'll use it. They'll come to Alabama. But Dabo Swinney and Bill Belichick, same thing. The same old is not going to work anymore. It's a different game.
Well, I was going to say, I'm going in a different direction than what you're thinking. Bailey Zappe, the backup to Mac Jones, was actually doing something under center with the Patriots. I mean, the Patriots under Bailey Zappe, Steelers, scored 21 points in the first quarter. So the question is, do the Patriots stick with Bailey Zappe and try to build around him? Or do they go after a dude like Justin Fields and build around Fields?
I think they draft. And I will tell you why, especially when they won 4 games this year. So they'll have a high draft pick. And there's some studs coming out this year in the NFL draft. Studs. You got Penix, you got Daniels, you got Bo Nix. I mean, some real
Belichick would be stupid to pass up on Penix.
Well, Belichick's gone. You know that, right? So wherever he ends up as a coach, I'm sure someone will snag him. But as the Patriots GM, you cannot pass on one of those studs that are coming out, because you'll have a top 10 pick. You'll get one of them if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I don't see how you pass on a Bo Nix or a Michael Penix Jr. I just don't.
No, I completely agree. I mean, I've been saying it for so long, ever since the Sugar Bowl. Like, any NFL team that needs a quarterback would be fucking stupid to pass up on Penix.
Yeah.
Because that man, the fact that Penix dropped almost 450 yards on Texas really speaks volume.
It does. And Texas's defense.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, I brought up Justin Fields. In my opinion, he clearly is not the problem in Chicago.
No.
It is the head coach. That man was trying to make Justin Fields a pocket passer, and I think halfway through the season, we saw what Justin Fields was as a pocket passer. That man was scared for his life. Was he a pocket passer at Ohio State? Yeah, absolutely. But look at the weapons that he had.
Well, look at the offensive line that he had, too. He's being pressured. And if you have less than 3 seconds to throw the ball in the NFL, which everybody there is elite, that's why they're there. You're not gonna have much success. And Justin Fields, man, like, if y'all don't want him in Chicago, like down here in Atlanta, we looking for something. You just let me know. I'll make a few phone calls, and
I mean, I don't want to see him leave Chicago. I like him in Chicago. I think the Bears should use the number 1 overall pick that they got from Carolina. Thanks, guys, because David Tepper is a dumbass.
So if you go after Penix or Daniels with the number 1 pick, man, Justin Fields is great trade bait. Like, there'd be some teams out there that would give you some shit for him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, on top of that, like, you get a ton of draft capital for Justin Fields as well.
Oh, ton. Hey, I mean, like, you could get pretty much anything you wanted right now with some teams out there, like you discussed earlier. Vegas just needs somebody to run the operation.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields can be that guy. Denver needs somebody to run the operation. Like Justin Fields
under Sean Payton. Justin Fields under Antonio Pierce.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
look out, Kansas City.
Correct. I mean, Denver would be dangerous with a Justin Fields. I mean,
absolutely.
That could be his new Drew Brees.
No, absolutely. But yeah, like I said, I think Chicago should stick with Justin Fields. Get Marvin Harrison Jr. in the draft with the number one overall pick, and use the draft capital that they have to build an offensive line. Protect the man, for God's sake.
I agree. You spend all this money on a quarterback, but yet it's not. So the offensive line, if I watched a few games, I didn't watch them week in, week out. That's your team. You would know better than me. But the games that I did watch, they seemed to be getting out schemed. I don't think it was so much they were out talented. I think they were getting out coached. They were confused.
Yes.
They were confused most of the game. I think the Bears coaching was just bad. I think it's bad. The Bears can be something special and they're not. And when you could be something special and that team is close, it's not like it's a broken locker room. Like, they talk great about each other.
Oh, absolutely.
That usually comes from the coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, even teams on the opposite end, when they were mic'd up, they went up to DJ Moore and were like, bro, you are being underutilized. And he even acknowledged it. And it's like, exactly. granted, DJ Moore is a great receiver. I was really looking forward to the connection between him and Fields, and unfortunately, those standards came up short. Just Humberfloob, Eberfloob, whatever the fuck his name is, has got to go.
Well, your offense keeps getting out schemed on the offensive line, severely limited what you can do because you've got to get the ball out quick. And the problem, the ball didn't matter. And I think that was the problem with Chicago this year. They became one-dimensional because it was like the South Carolina of my Gamecocks. You have less than 3 seconds to throw the ball, and it's even worse in the NFL because everybody's fucking elite. That's why they're there. And I think if they can get some coaching in there, I mean, the Bears are not a terrible team. They're a sleeping giant waiting to wake up. They just need a Mike Dick up.
No, I completely agree. We will see what happens going into the NFL draft come April. Obviously, you came in when we were talking about the atrocious officiating that we saw this year.
Trash official. I hate officials. Trash.
Facts.
Take them off the field.
Facts.
Call the game from the booth.
Bring in some fucking SEC. Bring in an SEC officiating crew. I guarantee you they do a better job in the playoffs. I'm just saying.
Out of all the refs that I saw in college football this year, oddly enough, the ones that seemed to call it fair the whole time were ACC refs.
Okay.
Like they seem to be spot on, man. And like, because you got teams like Clemson out there in the past would get every single fucking call because they're Clemson. And you didn't see that this year. And you didn't even see that with Florida State because Boston College should have beat them.
I was going to say, even the game between Florida State and Miami, those referees were letting them play. They were letting them fight. They were letting them battle.
I love it. I love when refs do that. Let them play.
I love it too. I love it as well.
ACC refs, I love them.
Oh yeah, you there's no denying that. But yeah, so that was all the topics that were getting discussed today. I want to thank you again for coming on to this show.
Anytime. Sorry for being late. But I'm definitely here to make it up.
Hey, better late than never. You know,
that's right.
It is what it is. Again, thank you for coming on the show. I will do my best every now and again when I can to come on to your show.
Yeah, whenever you want, you're welcome. Anytime.
Absolutely, man. Again, thank you so much. Peace out.
See ya.
See ya, man. Anyways, so that is the end of today's show. I want to thank you, Andrew Anderson of College Sports Villain, coming on to the show. I want to thank Matt Campbell for coming on to the show as well. Like I said, the TV service I have, I mentioned in the beginning of the show, it is Wi-Fi based, but you get every local channel in the country. You get free pay-per-views. You get the NFL package. You get the NHL package. You get baseball. You get basketball. You get overseas channels, for crying out loud. Click the link in the description of this video. Click the link that says DSTV hosting and let them know I sent you. I am No Mercy Sports, and I will see y'all next time.